Hey, man. What you working for, man? I just got a state, man. Just got a state, man. Who you working for, man? Galiano? Who the fuck is that, man? Oh, wait. I heard Galiano. Hey, man, you give me $1, man? $5, man. What about? Hey, man, you give me a cigarette, man. Oh, this, man? This is for later, man. That's that. Hey, man, that's for later, man. I'll talk about cigarette for now, man. Ho. I got a phone call, man. I gotta take this call, man. This might be my PO, man. What's up? Galiano? Yeah, I know about him. Alright. Yeah, man. Yeah, I can't rap later. What about that cigarette, though, man? Hey, man. I don't even smoke, man. That's just a prop, man. Prop, man. I borrowed that from the junkie down the street, man. I said, hey, man, I got to film a Guitkit episode, man. Let me get a cigarette. He said, what? I said, never mind. Here's $1. Can I get a cigarette? He give me $5. I said, what? Inflation, man. So let's talk about Galiano, man. Because that's what I've been talking about all along. You know what I'm saying? I wouldn't just be walking around like a panhandler for nothing. Well, maybe I would. You know what I mean? And if I did, what's wrong with that, man? You got a problem with that? I didn't think so. Alright. Cool. So, this Galiano right here we talked about a while ago. This was when we were talking about our old United trip, man. We were going through the United Harmony Exchange, man. And honestly, this is a really nice guitar. I really play it, you know what I mean, like 7 times in my life. And each one of those times was a joyous, peaceful time for me. Took me a little while to find it for this episode. However, it's a sturdy guitar. Now let's talk about the Galiano, Mark. We already had a whole episode about Galiano. You can go back and watch that. And I will go on about Galiano and Jersey City and, you know, blah, 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 blah. This particular Galiano here says dissed by BF Inc. NYNY. Distributed by BF Inc. New York. Galiano Classic Custom Built. It's kind of got the same kind of logo that Galiano had. So they might have been actually both of them distributed by B&F. I don't know. That's either an update for this one or just information for this week's model. Now, I was at the flea market about 2 weeks ago. And I had one measly $20 bill in my pocket. One measly $20 bill. You know what I'm saying? I walk this way then. After I walk that way, I walk this way. And I walk back this way again. And you get the point, man. I was doing a lot of walking, shuffling around. And I come to this man who I believe is the same guy I bought that 7-string Russian guitar off that belonged to Vladimir Putin's long lost roommate. You know what I mean? From the early 80s, man. But I digress. You know what I'm saying? This guy generally has guitars. And when he has them, they're pretty cool, man. They're pretty cool. I think I got that United Elitone from him, too, for $10 one time. You know what I'm saying? So, I saw on his little table, he had like a 4-string, you know, Kent, some kind of like, it was either a deluxe like ukulele, or it was like, you know what I mean, like a small tenor guitar. You know what I mean? Some kind of like, you know what I mean, long neck ukulele or small neck tenor guitar is what I want to say. And it was cool as hell, man. These things are rare. You know what I mean? They usually, you know what I mean, online because there's so few of them around. You know what I mean? It's a Kent, a yellow label model Kent. I was like, I need that guitar, man. I need it. I was like, how much, bro? You know what I mean? This guy's usually reasonable. He knows me. You know what I mean? $20 bill in my pocket. You know, it's like $30. I said, okay, we can do this. I was like 15. You know what I mean? He was like, I was offended by that shit, man. It's like $30. I was like 20. He's like, get out of here. You know what I mean? I've never seen this guy mad at me. I was like, man, like that's the art of the deal, man. You know what I'm saying? I'm just trying. You know what I'm saying? I'm just trying. You have to be like that, bro. I still buy a guitar off him, but I was a little hurt by it. It's like rebuke, man. His inability to, you know what I mean? I might have offended by the 15. You know what I'm saying? I might even offer them 25, you know what I'm saying? That I didn't have, but I would have borrowed money off somebody around here and I would pay it back some other time, man. You know what I'm saying? But I was rebuked, man. My heart was broken, man. I should have just borrowed $10 off of one of my friends, but fortunately I don't really have that many friends, man. $10 is a lot of money these days. So I totally digressed, man. So I was dejected after that, man. And instead of walking like this, I was walking like this. And I was walking the other way like this. Oh, fucked up, man. I was miserable and I was dejected. You know, are you okay, man? Are you okay, man? You ever hear the suicide hotline? And people are all trying to reach out to me, like, you know, give me, some guy gave me a coin with an image of, like, you know what I mean, Mother Mary on it. He's like, pray for everybody and pray for yourself. A blind woman, like, actually gave me a little necklace. She's like me, it was on me. You know what I'm saying? So all of a sudden, like, the clouds parted and the rain was showing up on this table. You know, a case on it. And I opened the case, like, oh, the lights shine out of it. A little butterfly came out of the case. And it was this guitar, man. And the guy says, it's $10 if you want it. I was like, $10, I want it. Wow. Would I want it? Oh, would I? So I couldn't get that $20 bill out of my pocket fast. I was shaking and shit. You know what I mean? Oh my, like, spiritual elements around me. It gave me to walk around. And I was singing that song. You know, a wimble, a wimble, a wimble, in the jungle, the peaceful jungle. Yeah, I was like fucking, you know what I mean? Have a good old time, man. And I got back to my car, you know what I mean? I drove home, man. I didn't even look at the guitar, man. So I got home and I looked at it and I thought, I was no problem, man. I think this is like original Jersey City Galiano. You know what I mean? Made by, you know, I saw that shit was made by, you know what I mean, Oscar Schmidt. I was getting excited, you know what I mean? Woo. Then I researched a little bit more and I found out that this is actually made by, it's made by Egmond, man. Egmond made a million guitars for everybody in the 60s. So it went from being something that I wanted to strip all this shitty paint off of because it's a Jersey City guitar. You know, it's being like, you know, this is cool. It's from the 60s. You know what I'm saying? It's part of the era. It's going to take a lot of time. So all over the place. Let's just play it and get it working again. There's some, you know, things wrong up here. You know, there's a tuner button missing and stuff. You know what I mean? Let's just get it playing. But we don't have to really worry about it. Cause, yeah, I mean, Egmond was like, yeah, I mean, it wasn't like Oscar Schmidt. So let's talk a little bit about B&F. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm talking right now. I'm on a roll. I talk all night. Because people don't really know too much about B&F. Now, B&F started in 1923. There are three principals. Principal number one was Albert Barth. Principal number two, we're going to talk about F. That was Henry Feinberger. Principal number three, his name was Morris Lutchen. Right? Now, this dude Lutchen dies 1927. He's done. So it became B&F, man. It went from BLF to just B&F, right? And these guys essentially, you know what I mean, distributed, you know, foreign-made products. A couple of Regals, a couple of Harmonies, but mostly German, you know what I mean, European, and Japanese, foreign shit. 1967, company was bought out by the two principals, you know, in their elderly sort of days, by Pickwick, who owned the record company at the time. Who, hey man, they're late to the party, man. You late to the party, Pickwick. They bought, like, you know what I mean? They bought the guitar company, music company, right? You know, distributor, right when everything was going to the toilet bowl. So Pickwick not only, you know, lost that with that, they went, you know, they had bankrupted them. You believe that shit bankrupted Pickwick, man? I think Pickwick, like, is owned by Universal now, like everything else. There's nothing else we can say. Anyway, I'm going to flip you around right now. Two other things I want to tell you about is Pennant, I believe, was one of their brand names. I have some notes written down here. And Musketeer. Pennant and Musketeer are two other brands that are associated with B&F because, you know what I mean? I just want you to know. You ever see something made by Pennant or something made by Musketeer? Musketeer usually drums. Pennant usually like ukulele or guitar. That's also BNF, man. Just want you to know. I'm gonna flip you around. We're gonna take a look at it. You know what I mean? We'll see it's Egmond truth. We'll have a good time, man. Yeah, that happens to be the case. Sometimes the case isn't necessarily the case. But in this case, the case is the case. Or in case it's not, it's got a case to tell. Now, usually I'm like, okay, let's look at this case real quick. Let's get the fucking case out of here. Let's talk about the guitar. Right? That's the way I usually roll. But in this instance, man, this case is kind of interesting. So let's get rid of this fucking guitar for a second. Let's talk about the case. That'd be the case. Look at a sticker. Tatay, man. Tatay guitars. This looks like a sticker from like the late 50s, early 60s. Then inside here we see a sticker for the Spanish Music Center, New York City. Tatay Spanish guitars. What's Tatay, man? Vincenzo Tatay was a famous luthier in Madrid. Built a lot of guitars. Built a lot of guitars for Ramirez, too. I believe in the 50s, George Harrison had a Tatay-built Ramirez. Chris Martin from Coldplay recently sold one at auction. Very, very, very valuable. But, you know, that was the grandfather. He had, like, sons, and then he had grandsons. And, you know, they all kind of went their own way. Now, Andrew Tatay, the grandson, ended up in Long Island. You know what I mean? But he seemed to be more of a distributor than like an actual builder. Although he did have a factory. I don't know what the case is, man, with this case, man. But that's an interesting it's an interesting case. It's a valuable sticker. You know what I'm saying? Like I could use that sticker, you know what I mean, put it in like a George Harrison guitar. People are like, oh, look at that. Let me get rid of this case now. Hey, fucking case. So there's the guitar. It's a real mess. You see that? It's got this paint all over it. It's going to be a real pain in the ass to strip that, so we're not going to bother. You know what I'm saying? Seems to be like a 50s Egmond. Early 50s Egmond. Still using them old wooden knobs. Wooden knob, man. Wouldn't you be glad? Now, I kind of pinned it down as an Egmond because of the tuners and this right here. You know what I'm saying? Look at those tuners, man. Seem to be slightly bit earlier. Now, we know this is an Egmond, right? Right, but look at these tuners, you know what I'm saying? They're almost the same thing. They're almost the same bell. You know what I'm saying? Let's see, they're slightly different. And you see that you know what I'm saying, the same shape and everything, you know what I mean? Same shape. But we're missing one right here. You know what I mean? These are like lozenge, you know what I mean? I think they call them lozenge shape. I don't have any, you know what I mean, glue-ons that are that exact shape. But we'll go in the laboratory. We're not going to take any of this paint off, you know. It was real, you know what I mean, hot day in the 60s to do this to your guitar. But unfortunately, you know, I just don't have the time. I don't really care. It's not worth that much money. You know what I mean? It's damaged. I don't have you know what I mean, tuner to replace it perfectly. So, you know what I mean? It is what it is. We'll replace this string that we're missing for some, you know what I mean, shit out of the pile. Right? And then we'll like hum a little tune for you. I'll see you in the laboratory. You know what I'm saying? And then we'll talk about this guy right here, man. That's the only thing we're really doing this week, man. You know what I'm saying? We're covering up a stick. What a fucking bullshit episode. I'll see you in the laboratory. Alright, so let's replacing this tuner button, man. I got these tuner buttons. Now, these are meant for like the shallow type rip-offs to be screwed on. And it comes with screws and everything. But I mean, they're not the right exact shape. But I mean, you know what I'm saying? This is going to be a little easier to operate once we get something on there. So we're going to twist it on as good as we can till we have this hole sort of like filled as we can. And then we're just going to drip some crazy glue in there. Drip a little bit of crazy glue in there real quick. We're going to put some baking soda right in there. You know what I'm saying? And it's going to get real hard. And then we're going to put some glue to the side. Now, we got to do that quick because we don't want the crazy glue dripping down here into the gear and shit. Because that'll be, you know what I mean, a drag. Wouldn't that be a drag, man? Like a major grotty drag.
So let's do that, you know what I mean? And once it's all glued on, I'll show it to you. I want to show you my specially repaired Egmond. You know what I'm saying? That case is definitely late 60s. This is definitely, you know what I'm saying, the 50s guitar, early 50s. I'm thinking, just by messing around with it. You know what I'm saying? So it's definitely the case came after the candy. You know what I mean? Let's get this guy on and I'll see you there. 1, 2, 3. And that is, folks. Now it's a productive member of society. See that? It works, spins around. Fantastic. We plug the top in. A little bit of crazy glue. You know what I'm saying? Use a little bit of baking soda there. You know what I mean? Then we wicked it in with a little wick piece on the top. Again, crazy glue, a little file around there. It's no big deal. Everyone knows to see. Let's try to find a little screw. Let's find a screw. See that screw's missing? Don't want to have no missing screws. Right? So let's get a screw in there. I'll see you when that's all screwed up, man. Let's find an old stocker. And there it is, people. A perfect screw, man. We got a whole drawer full of half ox eyes, slot head screws. You know what I'm saying? We found the right one. Looks great. So what do we do next? This thing is a mess, man. Could we have stripped it down? Yeah, maybe. Would it be a fun thing to do? No. No. It would not be fun. Would it be worthwhile? No. Are we ever going to do it? No. Not for $1,000,000. Well, maybe for $1,000,000. So let's look at this, man. Barely any fretwear at all. You know what I mean? Sometime in the late 60s, Holmes got himself a 10-year-old, 15, 20-year-old used guitar. Got himself a nice case for it. Painted it. And then, never played it. All the notes ring proud and true. No fret job needed, but this little rosewood veneer is very thirsty, man. So let's loosen up all these strings. And look how he's got these strings all strung. Look how the E goes all the way up to the D. And likewise, this E goes up to the G. These ones are correct, and these ones are reversed also. Oh, weird, man. I guess before Wikipedia land, you know what I mean? If you didn't have an encyclopedia of, music stringadry, you have to guess. You know what I'm saying? Logically, maybe that's where it goes. You know what I'm saying? This is the first tuner I see. You know what I'm saying? Somebody might think that at one point. If they didn't, if they got a guitar that had no strings on it, that was 20 years old in 1969 for a deal at Tatay Music, man. Tay-Tay's cray. So let's loosen these strings up. You know what I mean? Let's just get in there with a piece of steel wool, some mineral oil, and just, you know what I mean? Get this guy, let him get a little bit of grease, man. You gotta need some grease. I'm dried. I'm parched. I'll see you when that's done. When it's done, man. When it's done. See that? No fretwear at all. There you go, man. With a steel wooler, mineral oil. Got sucked right up by that little rosewood veneer, man. You know what I'm saying? Sucked it all up. Oh! Got this little piece of wood riding over the artwork, man. Keeping the strings away from the fretboard, man. Ingenuity, man. That came off, was not glued. It had a little shim underneath it too. Man, a little booster seat. That's the report, man. Report of the sort. So we're gonna let this grease set in just a little tiny bit. You know what I'm saying? Then we're gonna hit it up with one of our favorites, man. Dollar Tree furniture polish, man. We're gonna clean everything after this is set for about 45 minutes. We're gonna wipe it off, clean everything off with the furniture polish. I'll see that. We're gonna, you know what I'm saying? Get everything, clean it all up, man. Make it nice for the people. Make it nice for the people. I'll see you soon. 253% kielbasa juice. There it is, man. Nice and clean all around, man. It's a clean machine. Do. I was thinking maybe put some wax on this on the back, and I was thinking, I don't really think I need it. You know, I mean, this guitar was, unfortunately, was in excellent condition when this guy decided to, I mean, these bullshit paints on it. Idiot, man. So that's it, man. We fixed the little tuner. Well, let's pull this thing off. String, we're gonna leave it strung the weird way. I mean, we could redo it, but we'd have to sacrifice this particular G string. I have a lot of old G strings from that lot I got from that 60s Darko load. But I'm not gonna. That's kind of a curiosity. You know what I'm saying? A pickled punk, if you will, of the guitar world. So let's get. I got a whole bunch of these Alice D strings, man. Alice D string. That's Ben Folds 5, man. What's up, kid? You know if you know. You know what I'm saying? If you don't, you don't. I'll see you at the glam shots. Hey, Galiano's home. You got authorization to film in there? Fuck out of here. And there it is. You know what I oddly have to say about this instrument? This is an incredible instrument. It's really, really good acoustic guitar. I don't know, man. That's the difference like a string can make. You know what I mean? I thumped on it for a couple seconds before I fixed that, you know what I mean, tuner button. It wasn't really that impressive. Now I'm kind of feeling like stupid for not changing the strings out. Put like a decent set of strings on here. You know what I mean? There's like literally like paint globbed onto these strings, like to the point of it like being like ridiculous down here. See that? That's iridescence, man. The 60s was all about iridescence, man. You know what I mean? The 80s was like hollow flash, you know what I mean? The 70s was like, mellow tones. The 60s was about iridescence. We don't really talk about iridescence anymore. You know what I mean? Because it's like hard to fake digitally. You know what I mean? Anything that's easy to fake digitally is all the rage nowadays. But iridescence is like genuinely like an artistic anomaly. You know what I'm saying, people? Using those big fucking words on my Guitkit crew, man. I don't mean to lose anybody, man. You know what I mean? If you're on the same page as I am, you know what I mean? Cool, man. Cool. If not, that's all right too, man. We all learn at different paces. So let's talk about this a little bit, man. You know what I'm saying? This beautiful little instrument, man. Why would somebody paint his guitar? Well, it was all the rage in the late 60s. The Beatles did it. You know what I mean? Jimmy Page did it. Pretty much everybody was painting their guitars. You know what I mean? The Fool, I believe, painted the Beatles' guitars. There's some kind of like European Euro outfit of artists. Euro trash. I don't know, man. You know what I'm saying? The Beatles were real quick to realize that kind of inhibited the tone of their instruments. You know what I mean? And they stripped it all off by the end of the 60s. And that's why a lot of these, like, you know what I mean, famous painted guitars don't exist anymore because they all got, like, you know what I mean, repainted, unpainted, depainted, man. That was it, man. This is one of those attempts by somebody who possibly wasn't even really much of a musician. And then it might have became like a wall hanger, possibly, because of the strap button crumbling off or whatever happened there. Strap button, not a strap button. Tuner button. Sorry, man. I didn't mean to misspeak about you. You know what I'm saying? I want to give you correct information. You know? It's been a long day, people. But I digress, man. This was a great instrument. It really was. Egmond outdid themselves, man. Outdid themselves, man. It's before Egmond started bolting on all their necks, too. Most Egmonds are like garbage, too. That's why this is really like a shock to me. Because most Galianos are usually garbage. Most Egmonds are usually garbage. You know what I'm saying? And this whole fucking thing just wanders into my heart. And it's like an incredible instrument, man. Go figure. So let's hear it, man. I can talk all day long. You know what I'm saying? Maybe I'll just keep talking after I'm done filming this. What the fuck cares? I'll talk all night long. I don't fucking care, man. I got nothing else to say, man. Blah, 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 blah. Alright, boys. So listen up. I want to tell you my plan. Here's the plan. Hey, boss, before you continue, I think that Galiano's got a wire. Galiano's got a wire on him. Before you say anything. What do you mean? Galiano's got a wire? What are you trying to say to me? I think that Galiano's got a wire, is what I'm trying to say. Look, you idiot. Look why Galiano's sitting in that chair there. It's clear that he's an acoustical instrument, you numbskull. There's no wire coming from him. That's as acoustically folk as it gets, people. Hey, man. This thing is a nice instrument. Anyway, I come in here all kinds of energy and I really have nothing else to say. I wasted it all on stupid asses. One thing that's definitely a mind fuck is the strings being strung the wrong way. I feel like I'm playing like an instrument from like another land or something. I think I just put it out of tune a little bit by being all high karate with you. I don't mean to be like that, man. That's not the way we treat our friends. I want to give you the best of the best. It was a new D string too, man. So we gotta give him the respect that he deserves as a new string. Hey, man. I'm just being honest with you. This is an open dialogue between friends. We waste a little bit of all of our time. So, another 66 WNBC moment. I remember, like, in the late 70s, my mom took off for work. She used to work at a college library. And I was born, she took off time, raised me a couple years. My mom, to this very day, watched a lot of TV. So in the late 70s, it was just me, my mom, my dad was out working Gateway 1, Newark, as a stockbroker. My mom and I would be watching TV all the time. Watching TV. And I noticed something that all the entertainers there, for some reason, in the 70s were wearing these fucking Love Boat hats, captain hats, man. I don't know what the deal was, man, but I was like, can I get one of them hats? You know what I mean? Well, I was like, you don't need one of those hats. And I was like, hey, man, I want one of those hats. I was like, you don't need one of those hats. Anyway, there was this Captain Tennille was always on, and this guy called himself a captain, you know what I'm saying? He's wearing one of the hats. He had his broad, like, singing, like, real soulfully, you know what I'm saying, with him. It was like, you know what I mean? They're on the Muppet Show at least 15 times, or something like that. And they had, like, 2 or 3 good songs, you know what I'm saying? Who knows what happened to them? You know, I should have done some research, sorry. I'm hoping they're both still alive. If not, rest in peace, whoever you know, or I'm glad you're still alive. And if they're still, like, touring together, that's even better, you know what I mean? I have no idea about them. But anyway, this is the song, man. It used to be on 66 WNBC. Do that to me one more time. Once is never enough with a girl like you. Do that to me once again. Never enough with a girl like you. Oh, did you like to do? Did you like to do? Whoa. Do that to me one more time. Anyway, man, that song is one of those songs where it's always like in the 70s, like changing the key. It keeps going on that. And then then the captain does this little, and then the flute solo comes in and it goes into G. Neil comes back, it's so it goes from starts in C to G to D. It was one of those kind of things in the 70s. All this, the Bee Gees did that a lot, man. They'd like to change their chords around. I thought it was clever. It's not really that clever, man. It's just kind of confusing, you know what I mean? For people trying to figure out how to play your fucking shit. You know what I mean? Don't confuse people, man. Be peaceful, man. Rest in peace, Captain Neil, if you're dead. Yeah, I don't know if you're not. You know what I mean? But peace be with you either way, man. Dead or alive. See you next time. If there's next time. Peace be with you.